Rory, I'm going to time it.
Right, I'm just going to... Yeah.
Go.
So, Arsenal played the best 45 minutes of football.
Time out. How many times have you rehearsed this in front of the mirror?
No. Honestly, right, I was still angry on the commute back from work on Wednesday. It wasn't even like the commute to work. I was like, I'm not listening to any football podcast because it's just going to wind me up. And then on the way back, I was like, I probably need to listen to one. And then I just got so angry again. So...
Go.
We played the best 45 minutes of football we've played all season. We absolutely dominated Wolves. We should have been, I would say, easily 3-0, 4-0 up. We had a Saka goal disallowed. He hit the post as well. We had a few chances where we thought we should be killing this game. Anyway, Pepe scores a beautiful goal, dribbles past two defenders in a typically impressive and clumsy Pepe style. But
he's
beautiful.
A bit clumsy, yeah.
Yeah, he always looks accidental, but I like to think it's in his head. He's been unbelievable on the left wing, by the way. Since we moved into the left, he's been so good. A nice finish with his right foot, and we think, okay, good, yeah. 1-0, finally what we deserve. Added time of the second half. Now, David Luiz actually did the right thing here, right? David Luiz last season got sent off for a last-man tackle against Chelsea that gave away a penalty and lost us a game because he tackled the player, right? He was given a red and a penalty against him. This time... he doesn't tackle the player. The player's foot hits his leg, and he gets a red card and sent off. He gets a red card and a penalty, right? So I can just about accept that it's a penalty, right? Under the new VAR rules, I will take that it might be a penalty, but there is no way that is a red card. It's not a red card. He's literally not tackled the player. Like He's not got in the way. He's done nothing, right? You can criticize the defending and how easy Wolves got through on goal. Like, the defending was terrible, but it's not a red card. Anyway, from that point, the game was fucked. So, obviously, they scored the penalty. The second half, it was Moutinho, was it? Scored an absolute worldie, right? And then you go, right, game over, 2-1. Now we've just got to try and rescue a point. Even at that point, with 10 men, we looked like we were in the game. We still had a few chances. We were pushing. And I remember kind of messaging the boys and saying, we're still in this. Like, I reckon we can get something out of this. Then Bernd Leno has a complete brain fart. And just for the first time since being at Arsenal, he's made a mistake. Like, he ran out, he's misjudged the ball, he's gone to head it, and he's had to punch it. I've got absolutely no arguments for that red card. He had no arguments for that red card. It was completely stupid, which then put us down to 9 men. And then at that point, it's damage limitation, right? But even with 9 men, we managed to get a breakaway and have a couple of chances. Like, Wolves were not playing well. And Bellerin came out afterwards and said, teams aren't beating us. We're beating ourselves. He's like, we need to stop. Like the Burnley game, we got someone sent off. Leeds game, we got someone sent off. There's been a few games this season where, okay, we weren't playing well in those games, but we're not helping ourselves, right? And in this Wolves game, the only team we lost to was Arsenal. Like, it was ridiculous. And then seeing the player and the referee laughing and bumping fists at the end of the match, I was ready to put my foot through the TV. I swear to God. I was like, I know it happens all the time, and you think, like, players are always friendly to the ref. But when you see, oh, God, it's just... And it makes you sound like a conspiracy theorist with your tinfoil hat. But I was, like, honestly swearing at the TV. I was like, go on, celebrate it, you pricks. Celebrate it then. Go on. Like, such sour, awful, bitter man. But it was a horrible, horrible loss to take. A horrible loss to take.
Right. That wasn't that bad. That was a good rant. A good, well-structured rant. I'm going to give you an A.
Like I said, I mean, well, thank you, but I've been thinking about it all fucking week.
An A like Arsenal. There was also City nailing their 13th win in a row in all competitions against Burnley. Are they on the way to the title at this point?
Well, this weekend they could pretty much seal it. If we're going to jump 2 games to look forward to, they're playing Liverpool at Anfield this weekend, and that is going to be a tasty one. I think the pundits are trying to build it up like it's the same, it's as big a rivalry as like United Arsenal in the 2000s. Like, no, neither of these teams particularly care about each other, but this game is going to be interesting. In the last couple of games, City have definitely had the rub of it. So City have only lost once in the last 6 against Liverpool, and the reverse fixture was 1-1 with a Salah penalty and Gabriel Jesus scoring. I think on such a run, you can't really look past Liverpool. You can't really look past City, really. But against Burnley, they just looked super clinical. Like, it was just really efficient win. It wasn't anything special. That it should have been a lot more comfortable. Nick Pope had a great game. So it should have been a lot more comfortable, but Man City just looked ruthless, and they're really getting into that stride. I think Pep has seen that all the teams around him aren't doing anything. He's just thought, guys, this is ours to take. And we have to talk about John Stones and Ruben Diaz. They are just not conceding goals together. They're just not conceding goals.
Ruben Diaz was a good, clever signing for, I repeat it, for once you see a Premier League team spending good money on a good defender. That's beautiful to see. Rory, other games to preview? We've got tonight.
Tonight we have got Spurs versus Chelsea in the who do I want to win least derby. Honestly, a 0-0 will do, please, guys.
You guys will know the result by the time you're listening to this. And then we've got Villa versus Arsenal. Guess who's going to have
some... We lost 3-0 at home last time, so hopefully we can do better.
Guess who's going to have some incredible saves during the game.
But we do have Runarsson, the Icelandic midget, in goal this weekend because Leno is banned. So that will be interesting. And no David Luiz, who has actually been very good for us recently.
And then
that'll be an interesting one. Villa they're kind of wobbling a little bit. Like, they definitely struggled against West Ham. So I think that could be an interesting one. The other games I was looking at, Burnley versus Brighton in the relegation battle. They're only 2 points away from each other. Brighton have only beaten Burnley once since coming up to the Premier League, which I was quite surprised by. And the other game on Saturday, Manchester United versus Everton at 9:00. United haven't lost to Everton since April 2019, and they've won the last 2. So this could be another 3 points for Ollie, especially off the back of a nice confidence boost in 9-0, right?
I feel then like you said game with a Kiwi accent. The next game.
I know, yeah, I kind of got caught somewhere. And then on Sunday, we have Wolves versus Leicester in a kind of Midlands derby. And then the big one, Liverpool versus City. So some good games coming up this weekend. Tommy, what are we keeping an eye out for in Serie A?
Well. In Serie A this weekend, we've got tomorrow night, Friday, 8:45 p.m. Central European Time, Fiorentina-Inter. Fiorentina-Inter, at this point in the season, every game is a must-win. I feel like as soon as Inter drop points, it's going to be difficult to keep up with Juventus coming up and the AC Milan still being top. Rory?
And the last Inter-Fiorentina game was an absolute banger, right? That was at 5-4, right?
It was one of the few moments that we were allowed to be out in a pub. Remember
that? In a pub, drinking, watching a game. It was amazing.
It was a great time. And then on Saturday, we've got Atalanta Torino. And for the lovers of hipster football, Sassuolo Spezia. Sassuolo, we've called it before, the new Atalanta. Spezia, for the first time in Serie A, they've been doing pretty well. And then very big on Saturday afternoon at 6 p.m. Central European Time, Juventus against Roma. Let's see what Roma are made of. We've said it in the pod before, they haven't really performed at all against big teams. They've actually gotten just, I think, the 3 points out of all the games that they've played, and they were 3 draws. They've never won this year. And then at 8:45, Genoa-Napoli, which usually, historically, is a bit difficult for Napoli. And, of course, we're going to keep an eye on it for our man, Mattia Destro. We've officially launched the hashtag.
We are not the only ones as well. The Italian Football Pod, I believe, were on this hype. They were trying to get people into it. I was the only one we were the only ones who replied yes with hashtag Destro for Euro 2021.
Dude,
Get on that hype, guys.
Dude, when the other night, I will cover the Coppa Italia action from this week in a second, but when my friend Corra got to my house the other night, he started insulting me. He was like, what the fuck are you doing? Starting a movement to bring Mattia Destro to Euro 2021? Fuck, no, I don't want that guy. And then I also bet 50 euros. I was a little bit intoxicated, but I did bet 50 euros that if he goes
so excited to hear the end of this. Go on.
If he goes to the Euro, he's going to be Italy's top goal scorer.
Oh.
I like to give money around to my friends. And then on Sunday, we've got Parma-Bologna at 6 p.m. Very quickly this week, there was some Coppa Italia action. Napoli-Atalanta, they played last night on Wednesday night. They tied 0-0 with some beautiful, beautiful saves by Napoli's goalkeeper Ospina. And then there was Ospina, you remember the name. And then there was Inter-Juve 1-2. Look, man,
come on, Tommy, let's go. Come on.
Look, about this game, I think Inter played better than Juventus. I think that Inter dominated the game. They deserved the win. Andanovic and Buffon kind of like shook hands at the beginning of the game and told to each other, yeah, let's see who can fuck up the worst, because Buffon fucked up on Lautaro's goal. And Andanovic, I mean, man, the Ronaldo goal that I kind of want to break down. I mean, what was he doing there? What was he doing out of the box?
You need a new keeper. This is going to be the difference, you know. This is going to be the difference.
Man, if we don't get a new, solid, good goalkeeper this summer, I'm going to...
Who's your reserve? Who's your reserve keeper?
Our reserve is Padelli, and then we've got Filip Stankovic, the son of Dejan Stankovic.
Oh, wow.
He's actually good, but he's very young. I think he's not even 20 years old. He needs to play at some other teams, but I think
and
that...
Padelli is nothing special, right?
No, Padelli is not nothing special. Padelli is not a goalkeeper. I don't know.
Okay, right. So it's Handanovic or nothing, really.
But look, okay, so Inter, I think they dominated the game. Lautaro Martinez, beautiful goal. And then a penalty that, I mean... It was a penalty. Ashley Young pulled Cuadrado's arm while he was running in the box. But the thing that I find funny is that the potential assist from Bernardeschi at the moment of the foul was almost hitting our blimp up in the air. It was so
Ashley.
It was so fucking bad. Like, that was a penalty, of course, but very unnecessary. Mm-hmm. And then the second goal by Ronaldo. I mean, also, the penalty by Ronaldo, fucking crazy. A rocket under the crossbar. And then the second goal, I don't know what Andanovic was thinking. He put Bastoni in dire straits. Actually, when I saw the goal, I was like, that's Bastoni's fault, because he's telling Andanovic to get the ball. And then he doesn't really cover him. But upon rewatching it, Bastoni was kind of scared. He was like, what the fuck are you doing there? Like, he didn't know what to do. But then, guys, the angle of Cristiano Ronaldo's shot that hits the post and goes in, that was beautiful.
Yeah. Well, he continues to amaze, right?
I don't want to make up excuses, but I feel like we gave the game away and we lost the game against ourselves, kind of like Arsenal. Kind of what you were saying about Arsenal.
Been there, brother.
Another thing that I wanted to say, I'm not a big fan of the Messi-Ronaldo comparison. I just think it's kind of boring after a bit. But if you're into it, I'm going to say that in the last few years, I think that Ronaldo has kind of nailed it.
It's not even close.
Except for free kicks taken and scored. 21 Messi, 1 Ronaldo over the past 3 years, I think. So, yeah, besides that competition, I think that for the rest, Cristiano Ronaldo is winning it. But next week, we're going to have the return fixtures. So, Inter will visit Juventus in Turin, and Atalanta will travel to Naples, but we'll have time to talk about it on Monday night at 9 p.m. And now, Rory, I let you announce the big part of today's podcast.
It's finally time, guys. We've been waiting for this, and it is finally here. We were so excited to get this guest on. It was through sliding into this guy's DMs on LinkedIn, I believe, Tommy, right?
Yep. The only time I've used LinkedIn in the past 5 years.
And this is a guy who he manages my mum's hometown football team. He is from the same part of Italy that Tommy is from. These are both things that I'm pretty sure helped secure us the interview. But guys, it is time for Dundalk FC manager Filippo Giovagnoli talking all things Europa League, League of Ireland, American football, as in soccer, Italian football. We talk everything with this guy. He gave us an hour of his time. He was a legend. Guys, I hope you enjoy it as much as we did. Filippo Giovagnoli.
All right, guys, and finally, your